Yes.
You know, the one day that Manti Te'o can just wear everything green, everything Notre Dame, everything Clover. What are you doing, man? That's just a very generic green button down.
Generic?
Yeah.
The blood runs green, guys. The blood runs blue and gold, baby. It's all inside, Jamie. The exterior is just a reflection of the interior.
Nice. It wasn't generic. It's a very lovely shirt. Jamie, Manti, Willie, and Kyle, great to see you guys in New York. Right as we were wrapping up GMFB yesterday, the news came across the newswire that the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Jets had gotten together, and they swung a deal to send quarterback Justin Fields, the former Buckeye star, by way of Chicago and Pittsburgh and the Jets, to Kansas City to back up Patrick Mahomes, who, of course, as you all know, is coming off an ACL and LCL tear, which ended his 2025 season prematurely. Now, the 26-year-old Justin Fields will be playing for his fourth team since being drafted 11th overall to the Bears back in 2021. The Chiefs now have had a very interesting offseason with trades and via free agency after missing the playoffs this past season for the first time since 2014. They finished 6-11. Andy Reid and the Chiefs are looking to retool and support Patrick Mahomes the way he should and deserves to get right in the 2026 regular season so they can end up in the postseason once again. But this lends itself, Manti Te'o, to an interesting Justin Fields question, which is, this is pretty cool for him to go from the Jets to back up Mahomes, potentially to have an opportunity to start the season because we don't know where Mahomes is going to be in his recovery. So in this era of high-caliber quarterbacks getting a secondary opportunity, what do you make of this one for Justin Fields?
What a great opportunity for Justin Fields to go to a place like Kansas City to be coached by a man named Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy coming back as offensive coordinator. If you are a quarterback, we talk a lot about these quarterbacks that may be going through a little rut. You want to be able to go to what we call the oracles of quarterbacking, the guys that you could go to like Andy Reid that will take you in and help to facilitate your process as a quarterback. I remember going against Andy Reid when he first got to Kansas City, and he had Alex Smith there, and the offense that they ran there was very, very different than the ones that he curated with Patrick Mahomes. And that's the brilliance of somebody like Andy Reid, is he's going to look at your strengths, he's going to look at your weaknesses, and he's going to play to those strengths. When I watch Justin Fields play, he is electric as far as his physical abilities. He can run, he's fast, he does all of those things. The thing last year that I saw in his game was he had a fear of making a mistake. He would hold on to the ball. We saw this last year, guys. He would just hold on to the ball. You're like, let the ball go. Sometimes what's going up in your mind and those fears of making mistakes will limit you from being a very productive player, whether it's quarterback, whatever position on a football field. When Justin Fields goes to a place like Kansas City and you have Andy Reid there, Willie, I am confident that Andy Reid will do what he needs to do to bring the best out of Justin Fields. And that's exciting if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and that's exciting if you're Justin Fields.
Yeah, you're spot on, Manti. It's tough, man, because I thought this kid never really had a chance to develop. It's, you know, we talk about Chicago going through multiple OCs, landing in Pittsburgh. There was issues with his mechanics and his fit, but he still won. He goes to the New York Jets. He's 2-7 in 9 games, and you're 100% right. Justin Fields' biggest issues outside of his mechanics is being able to win at the line of scrimmage, anticipate things, especially what the defense is trying to do to him. Now he lands in a system with Andy Reid, and you know Andy Reid has success with athletic quarterbacks, going back from Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick, on and on and on, Patrick Mahomes. So now Justin Fields has an opportunity to find a home and find a system that really plays to his strengths. If you're Justin Fields right now, by the way, we got to remember, he chose the Chiefs, right? And so now that he chose the Kansas City Chiefs, he has an opportunity to find a home, get comfortable, and we don't be surprised if they use him like how they use Taysom Hill. We may see some wildcat. The bottom line, man, he's a 27-year-old quarterback who I think still has a lot of ball in him. We just need to see him on Sunday and produce at a high level, KB.
We do, and I've landed on this. I think Justin Fields is the Taylor Kitsch of NFL quarterbacks. Follow me here. Taylor Kitsch, you know, from Friday Night Lights. Jamie, stay with me. Here you go. So Taylor Kitsch is someone where you see him and you're like, wow, talent, handsome, charisma, actor. Like, there's so many things to like here. Like, we got to make this guy into a huge star. Like, we got to just blow him up. Justin Fields does some of the same things. There's so many things. He's a really good teammate. He's a really good guy. He's still young. He's really athletic. He does a lot of great things. It's just like, we can't really make it happen. It's just not happening yet. And the Taylor Kitsch thing, it's like, Justin Fields, Taylor Kitsch comparison is that the Steelers were the movie Battleship. The Jets were the movie John Carter, which is one of the biggest bombs of all time. The Bears were Friday Night Lights. It was back then. And now it's like, where do we go with this thing? We like this guy. We want him to work out somewhere. But my God, we're on our 4th team, and we got a lot of other quarterbacks around. But here is the level to which, A, people like Taylor Kitsch, and B, people like Justin Fields. Not only do you get spewed out of this, like, gross Jets machine, and by the way, let's bring up that graphic again. Like, even you can see it on Justin Fields' face. Like, he's like, oh, get me out of here.
Hey, God.
Oh, he looks like he's running off the field for the last time. Like, he looks half comatose. Those eyes are at half mast. He's tired. He's seen some things. So you have a miserable season. How miserable? Like, do you guys even remember that? They announced Fields as the starter in March, like where we currently are. They're always like, Justin Fields is our starter. By October, not November or December, by October, the owner was saying we can't win with the quarterback playing like this. It was a 0. It was awful. So after that, you have a 0 season on the worst team. Who comes calling? The Chiefs. Andy Reid wants you, and not in any other year, in a year in which they have to get the train back on the tracks and the quarterback is hurt. So, like, they go to Justin Fields to be like, we may not have Patrick, come on here. That is a huge compliment to Justin Fields. That is a huge testimony to, like, I know it was terrible. Even as bad as it was, you couldn't have had a worse season. We want you to come in and maybe get the whole franchise back to where it needs to be. People love Justin Fields. I hope we can make something of it because you only get so many shots. People love Taylor Kitsch. Who doesn't? Riggs? Jamie, I'm sure you're batting your eyelids there. I'm batting them here in New York. Riggs is incredible. I love him. But we just never really found a place to put him up on that pedestal. I hope Fields has it differently.
As I always do, Kyle, when you make these parallels, while I was listening to you quite intensely, I was also making sure I reviewed to Taylor Kitsch experience. It was 20 years ago that Kitsch was nominated for his breakout role in Friday Night Lights. It was like the 06, 07 experience, where I'm sure the Chiefs they don't want anything to do, though, with this guy being nominated, let's say, next season for, like, comeback player of the year or something. Like, they don't want him to be the week 1 starter. They want Mahomes healthy. They want him right. And this is a very different backup quarterback experience, far removed from, like, the Chad Henne stuff that they had going on. This is different for Justin Fields. It also makes us wonder what's going on with the Chiefs right now. All clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose kind of stuff. After this offseason now, seeing what they've done with bringing Kenneth Walker III in, knowing that their favorite tight end is going to be back more or less within this offense, where do we stand with the Chiefs right now, Willie, after the moves that we've seen them do, both in additions and losses in March?
Yeah, that's a good question. I personally don't know how to feel about them, Jamie. You talk about some of these losses. I mean, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Brian Cook, like Pacheco. Leo Chanel is a big loss for them. I think people haven't talked enough about that. But you talk about some of the additions, it's really Kenneth Walker. And then they lose Jawan Taylor on the offensive line. I'm just really kind of stuck in limbo on the future of the Kansas City Chiefs. I wonder who are the cornerstone pieces to your defense. And I'm saying to myself, it's just a wait-and-see game. You go into the NFL draft, you have the 9th pick, and you have the 29th pick. You may go Jeremiah Love, or you may find an offensive lineman, or you may get pass rush help. I think it's just a juggling situation I think most Chiefs fans are dealing with from an emotional standpoint. But nevertheless, man, I think the Chiefs, excuse me, are under construction. So I don't know, man. Ty, what about you?
Willie, I see what you're saying when you're saying what version of Patrick Mahomes are we going to get. My biggest question is, when are we going to get Patrick Mahomes? When I look at the NFL season, especially the regular season, it's a lot like the semifinals for the 4x1 meter race. There's 4 legs of the race. There's 4 quarters to the season: September, October, November, and then there's December. There's also 2 ways to get to the finals. You either win your heat or you run fast enough in football terms to qualify for the top 7. The challenge for the Chiefs are they're in a division that has the fastest sprinters in it, in that division. They got the Broncos and they got the Chargers. When you don't have Patrick Mahomes, when you don't have probably Rashee Rice, you're not going to have the fastest first leg. But to the credit of the Chiefs, They usually have their fastest leg on the last one. The problem is by the time that baton is passed to Patrick Mahomes, is Patrick going to be able to close that distance, or is that distance going to be too far for the Broncos and the Chargers for him to make up that? I think we saw that this past year. It's the first 4 to 6 weeks. We're like, man, don't worry, Rashid Rice is coming back. By that time, there's already so much distance being made with the other teams in the AFC that by the time they start clicking, that distance is a little bit too much. So in 2026, going forward in this 4x1 race that is the NFL season, are the Chiefs going to be able to keep up in time? So by the time Justin Fields hands his thing to Patrick Mahomes, Kyle, will he be able to close that distance? Because there is going to be a little bit of distance.
Yeah, or does Mahomes start week 1? Like, I get nervous about the time frame because the generic time frame for Patrick Mahomes' injury, they say 9 to 12 months, which is a huge window. Happens in December. That puts 9 to 10 months to September. And, you know, and now it's like all in week 1. Got to be back week 1. I'll never forget, remember RG3's injury. It was all in week 1, week 1, week 1. He had a logo, he had a mantra and everything that seemed so cool. And then it was just a disaster. So, I mean, you want to get 8 or 9 years out of Mahomes after this, right? Like, you take this super cautious. So Justin Fields going to be starting games. I don't know. That's the biggest question for me. But I look at the 2026 Chiefs. We're in March right now. I look at them through the lens of the NCAA tournament. I think this is an interesting year for the Chiefs because I feel like they're coming into the tournament that is the 2026 season like so far off the main bullseye of where everyone's looking. I looked it up. I was like, what is the worst seed in the tournament that Duke has ever had? Like, what do you think is there? I looked it up. In 1996, Duke, with Coach K, they were an 8 seed. This is the worst seeding they've ever had in the tournament. They show up, Duke, the logo, everything, Coach K, they're an 8 seed. I feel like the Chiefs, this is like their 8 seed season where they're going to go in and everyone's going to be talking about Manti. Broncos are next, Chargers this, Raiders, who knows, 8 seed. Manti, this was 1996. This is way back in the day. I wouldn't expect you to remember. What do you think happened in that 1996 NCAA tournament for Duke, who was an 8 seed? What do you think?
Won the national championship?
No, they lost in the first round of Eastern Michigan. But it's still a good story. It's still a good story. So the Chiefs, if that happens again...
That's the way to swing, Manti.
I just did Manti dirty. I just crushed him. But, Jamie, that's how I look at it. This is like Andy and whatever version of Patrick. They're not a 16 or a 15 or something, but, like, they're showing up this year as an 8 seed, and we'll see which way it goes.
I feel like there's some brands of college basketball programs that, like, they would rather not be in the tournament at all than have the audacity to be labeled a 15 or a 16 seed. Like, the fact that Duke is like, ew, an 8? Like, we'd rather go play in the NIT. Yeah. No offense to the NIT. Kyle, the Friday Night Lights thing is just ringing in my ears right now, and I can't get it off my... Who is a more beloved coach in your mind, Andy Reid or Eric Taylor?
Oh, man. I mean, listen, we can't talk about Eric without talking about Tammy. I mean, Tammy was the one that held that house together. But Eric Taylor, the fact that he went from Dillon to East Dillon, and that's kind of like Andy Reid going from the Eagles to the Chiefs. So it's neck and neck because, wait, what's Andy Reid's wife's name? Is it Tammy?
Is it Tammy? It might be. Stand by.
Isn't it? All right. So I think that's his wife's name. That's an incredible thing.
Tammy
Either way,
Reid.
neck and neck. I mean, how credible. I wouldn't be surprised if Eric Taylor's wife's name was based on Andy Reid's wife's. Like, that's so cool. So, you know what? Answer Jamie, my answer is Tammy. That's the winner in all of this.
That's a good point. Yeah. How about Lila Garrity versus the field?
Oh, come on. Jamie, we'll talk during commercial break. And honestly, I watch that show sometimes, and I'm like, never mind Lila. Look at Riggs. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, that show had everything going on.